So today I want to talk about the science of achievement and how so many people out there get discouraged over their failures because they keep trying to do things that are positive for their lives and they keep trying to succeed, but it doesn't seem to work out for them. And in most cases, they don't know how. And so I want to go over sort of the science of how we achieve these different things in the proper way, how we can get closer to our goals quicker in the general sense. So, how to achieve starts with knowing the result that you want. Knowing the result is obviously crucial to the whole goal chasing and success, prosperity, and going for what we want. If you don't know the result, then you're not going to be able to achieve because you're just going with the flow and it's probably not going to work out. But if you know your result that you want, you can set up a strategy in which you can follow to achieve it. So there was a scientist and a writer that came up with cybernetics, and his name was Maxwell Maltz. And Maxwell came up with this science in which we decide who we want to be and we mimic that behavior. So we mimic the behavior of the person that we want to be. So we act, think, talk, strategize, and schedule our lives in a way that we believe either this person would do or is doing. If we have a mentor that is successful, if we mimic this person's behavior and we change our own habits, then we can become that person, basically. So he came up with this so that you can get closer to your goals faster and you can get closer to your success faster because there's already an outline to how to do it instead of just going with the flow and trying and hoping things work out. So cutting the lines in between getting discouraged and failing that many times, seeing what has already worked for other people and doing that. So we want to know our result and we want to know what we're going for. So therefore we want to know our why. Why do we want these things? Why do we think this would bring happiness to ourselves? What wouldn't make us happy? And so when we figured out what we don't want and what we do want, that brings more clarity into our brains. And it sort of clears the fog away of being confused and chasing after all different things and wasting our time and wasting our money and wasting our energy on things that we don't actually want. So we figure out what we do want. We know the why, we know the result where we want to actually end up. So we just saved ourselves a lot of time, maybe even a decade, because now we know, instead of just going with the flow and trying to figure things out. And that's what a lot of people do in high school or college, and that's perfectly fine. Sometimes that's the best thing to do, to actually figure out what you want. But you have to ask these questions so that you can figure the result and the why out sooner. And when you're chasing after these things, of course, you want to take a lot of action. So when you're achieving your goals or going to try to achieve your goals, you want to take massive action and try all different types of things. And when you have clarity on what you're doing and how you can achieve these results, you want to do it 10 times the amount. So if you want to write a book, instead of just writing a couple of pages a day, try to read 10 pages a day if you want to get there quicker, If you wrote 4 pages a day in a book, every 3 months you would write an entire new book, So the little steps and the little pages, of course, add up to big results. I mean, that could be you writing 4 books in an entire year, when a lot of people don't write even one. And maybe people go 20, 30 years wanting to write a book, but they never start. So of course you have to start and you have to take a lot of action, So what do you like to do? And what are you passionate about? Those are two very important questions. What do you like? What are you passionate about? Maybe you're passionate about writing. Maybe you're passionate about film. Maybe you're passionate about something small. You could like accounting because you love numbers. You could love computer science because you love computers. You could love being a hairdresser. It doesn't really matter what it is. As long as you love it, then go for it. And so what are you passionate about? That's an important question. What gives you drive and motivation? What do you want to do that you would be willing to do for free? Because if you can get that far, then you can put the work in because you enjoy doing it. And that's how a lot of people achieve ultimate success, because they're doing what they love. And so it's easy for them. They just keep doing what they love, Authors and people in the acting industry or entertainment industry, they have to keep doing what they love for a long period of time before they get recognized, before they start making money from it. But by that time, they have increased their skills. They've met a lot of people. They've networked well. They know people in the industry. They know people around. They've made good friends. They've learned skills. They've worked hard. They have a great portfolio. And there you are. And then it finally happens on that one particular day that they probably weren't even expecting it to happen. And they were just going about their day doing the same things. So know your passion. Be specific. Set specific goals about what you want to achieve, what you want your house to look like, what you want your car to look like, what you want your family to be, your family type life to be, and realize your own self-image now and what you want to do with your self-image for the future, how you would like to change your self-image. In other words, what positive habits you don't have that you want. What negative habits you do have that you don't want. You want to get rid of them. And the positive habits you want to achieve. And that ties into the cybernetics about becoming who you want to be, because you want to be that person, because you're willing to do the work to become that person. There's many people out there that are achieving so much success that they're not smarter than you or me. And they're not more talented than you and me. They're just putting in the work, and they have a plan, they have a strategy, and they know what they want. So they go out and they get it. Sometimes it takes time, but they're willing to do the work, and they're willing to put in the effort, and therefore they eventually achieve it. So realize what you want. Happiness comes from this progress, and it comes from achieving. That's how you get happiness in your life. And how you achieve. They end up being the same exact thing. Your achievements end up being something that gives you happiness. Now, there was this guy named John that I used to know. And John, he was already 35 years old. And he always wanted to go to college. And so John was asked, why didn't you go to college? And he said, well, the college I want to go to medical school. And if I go in and get my bachelor's degree and I get my medical degree and everything like that, by the time I finish that and actually get in my career field, I'll be 45 if I started college. And it would take 10 years. And they said, or the person that was asking him said, well, then how old would you be in 10 years if you didn't go to college? And the same answer, 45. So don't worry about the time. Worry about what you want to achieve and go for it. Don't worry about how old you are. Don't worry about how much time it's going to take. Just go out there and achieve. Because yesterday's gone. Tomorrow never came. But the present moment is right now. And that's why they call the present, present. And this current moment, present. Because it's a gift. We need to achieve in this moment, and we need to not wait for a better moment. We need to think about today and the future at the same time. But we have to be present today. If you're going to put something off till tomorrow, there's really nothing that's going to say that tomorrow you won't put it off until another tomorrow. So you have to be willing to take that first step, because that is the most important one. And once you take that first step and you're doing it, you get so involved with doing it that sometimes you're not even thinking about it. You're just doing it as part of your day, and you're getting better at it, and you're growing, and you're achieving. So this is the way that successful people think. They think about what they want. They set goals, they think, they act, they do, and they challenge themselves. And that's what I encourage all of you to do. So if you have a person in mind that you want to be, then think like how that person would think, or at least how you think that person would think, and do the same things, act the same way. Tell yourself certain affirmations about how you want to be in the future, but make it more in the present tense, so that you can act in a way now of that future person, or how you think that future person would be. And grouping all of these things together will get you achievement, will get you closer to your goals, and will actually help you achieve your goals. And one by one, you'll see that this progress that you're making and the skills that you're adopting get you closer and closer to your achievements.